the January 6th committee in the United States. That's a group of lawmakers at Capitol Hill looking at the riots, of course, that took place at the beginning of this year, has been ramping up pressure on former President Trump and his staff. Leaked text messages last week revealed that Donald Trump Jr. had expressed concerns about the president's supporters storming the Capitol. Meanwhile, President Biden is deploying over 1,000 military personnel to help hospitals deal with, of course, the Omicron variant and the influx of patients that is sweeping the United States, just as it is much of Europe. Well, join me to discuss this and say the biggest event in US politics this year is the former White House strategist to President Trump and host of the national radio show America First, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Very good afternoon to you. How is this committee meeting going? They seem to be subpoenaing people right, left and centre.
Right, me included, Darren. So I got home Saturday afternoon to a very unpleasant early Christmas present, a FedEx envelope with a document package from Verizon, the cell phone carrier, that had been subpoenaed by the House January 6th committee for my phone records. Despite the fact I didn't speak on January the 6th, I was slated to give a speech at the Supreme Court, which didn't occur because the president's speech went over. So they're out of control. They're desperate. When a person who committed no crime, who didn't give a speech on January the 6th, is having his privacy rights violated, you know the Democrats are out of control.
President Trump, I've just read, is due to give a press conference on January 6th next year, so in a couple of weeks' time, clearly on the anniversary. Where is he in all of this? I mean, is this doing him any political damage, or, as it seems from this side of the Atlantic, that it seems to be stoking up his supporters even more?
Well, I revealed the subpoena for my phone records yesterday in Phoenix at something called America First, where we had 10,000 patriots in one room from all across the country. So this is the biggest own goal of the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi we've ever seen after trying to impeach President Trump twice, once after he'd left office. That's how insane they are. They are demonstrating how truly out of control they become. Why? We've had hundreds of arrests. We've had grandmothers put in solitary confinement because they, quote unquote, trespassed on the property of Capitol Hill. So this is a boomerang, and they know that they're going to get shellacked in the midterm elections next year. So President Trump is showing the Democrats for who they are. And we look at the figures. 70%, Dan, 70% of Democrats polled say Biden shouldn't run again. His popularity is in the toilet, and his vice president, Kamala, is even worse, in the 20s. That's how unpopular she is. So this is the sign of a party in a tailspin. And President Trump, I guarantee you, will be running in 2024. And if we can stop the cheating and the fraud, he will stroll back into the White House.
I see he got booed last night, though, by some of his supporters after telling them that he'd received the booster to the vaccine.
Yeah, there was the very, very pathetic little instance in front of the Bill O'Reilly event where a small group of people who are, I don't know, psychotically anti-vax. I haven't been vaccinated, but my argument, just as they've said with abortion for decades, my body, my choice. If you're vulnerable, if you're in a certain age cohort, if you've got comorbidities, go ahead, make that choice, but it should be between you and your doctor. President Trump is in his 70s, and he made the decision, as is his right to do so. So it's not about anti-vax via vax. It's about sovereignty of your body, and it's about common sense. When we've got children being vaccinated, and the mortality rate for COVID is 0.05% for children, guys, put a brake on your insanity and don't be science deniers. What you're seeing across the world is a denial of science. Yes, it's real. Yes, it can be scary, but we don't isolate and we don't quarantine healthy people, and we don't vaccinate children for things that literally are not a danger to them.
Well, I know, but of course, as you've rightly pointed out, that decision is up to parents to a large degree.
Should be.
Well, indeed,
should be, absolutely.
Well, I mean, both in the United States...
No, hang on. But it's not. In America, we're having children. This is not look it up. If your viewers don't believe this, in New York, children were bribed by school authorities with slices of pizza to get vaccinated without their parents' knowledge. That is wrong. I don't care where you live.
Okay, and just let's finally end on President Biden. he's going to be president for the next couple of years. As we saw, of course, last year with the election in the United States, things can change very, very quickly indeed. But all the eyes will be on the midterm, won't they, in November?
The midterms, absolutely. But the idea that he's going to be president for another 3 years, I sincerely doubt it. When you've got very sober journalists like Chad Pilgrim of Fox, never known for hyperbole, saying he's seen emails from Democrats on Capitol Hill who are being told, prepare yourselves for the regulations on how to replace a vice president. That means they are organizing the deck chairs on the Titanic. They know how unpopular he is, whether it's inflation, the open border, 2 million illegal immigrants in the last 11 months. I don't think this senile old man in the White House is going to last another 3 years, honestly.
Well, I'm not entirely sure we could call the President of the United States senile. He is the President of the United States, after all. Your President,
your eyes.
Sebastian.
Open your eyes.
Thank you. We have run out of time. Sebastian Gorka there joining us from Washington. Merry Christmas to you and indeed to everyone in the United States. That is it.